On a typical day, one or both adults in the home will leave the house for work. The school-aged children will board the bus for school. And at the end of the day, everyone will return with stories to share, happy to be reunited and feeling tired from a long day spent among coworkers and friends. Now, everything has changed. The togetherness you once craved has been foisted upon you. Choice has been denied, and you're all there together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to work from home, go to school from home, and to manage your life, all without leaving your home for anything but essentials. It can be easy to be short-tempered during this time. Welcome, everyone. It's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, here with you on Angel Heart Radio. And when we come back, I want to introduce you to some fabulous angels. So if you'd like to receive help from the angels for your relationship issues, then please stay with me. And as soon as we're back, we're going to dive deep in how you can create healthy relationships anytime. Please don't use the virus as an excuse. Happiness, good relationships, joy, they are a choice each and every day, no matter what's going on.
Angel Heart Radio programs should not be used to replace your legal or medical advice, nor your own sound judgment. In truth, nothing can dim your magnificence. You are a divine spark, a universal light. You are here on purpose. You are part of a divine plan, and it's our joy to support you. We're here to celebrate you. Welcome to Angel Heart Radio. Powered by love, Angel Heart Radio is brought to you by AngelLight777.com. Great news, everyone. Angel Heart Radio is now live streaming on our Facebook page, and we have a fully searchable, brilliant podcast platform for you at AngelHeartListen.com. Put the power of the spiritual realm to work in your life with Marcia Martin on Angel Heart Radio starts now.
So before I forget, let me share Happy Palm Sunday with absolutely everyone who, if times were normal, would have been to church and gathered a palm today. Or if you are in any religion that celebrates Palm Sunday, Happy Palm Sunday to you. I celebrate with you in my heart. I do not ascribe to any one particular religion, but I honor all of them. So happy Palm Sunday to those of you who would have been celebrating. Now, I want to share with you something incredibly wonderful about the angels. I don't know that I mentioned it at any other time. And as always, if you have a question that you would like to ask the angels directly, please, you are welcome to call in. The number is 347-202-0232. If you are calling from outside the U.S., you will have to add the 1. Again, that number, 347-202-0232. The angels have the answers, but we have to remember to ask. So, as I was preparing for sharing this information with you, I asked the angels who would like to help. And it occurred to me that I'm not sure that I have shared this with you in the past. When you work with the angels, and I encourage absolutely every one of you to begin taking this time when you may not be as busy. If you're not working from home, if you're just simply laid off, you're not as busy as you usually would be. Use this time to your advantage and get busy learning how to communicate with the energetic realm. It is so important to open up that channel of communication. Your life will change significantly for the better. You will no longer feel that you are out there by yourself, all alone, trying to figure out things, or that you are in the midst of confusion and you can't see the forest for the trees. The angels have overarching vision. They see the big picture. They will help you choose the road that will lead you to success the most quickly. What they won't do is prevent you from interacting with a challenge that will be to your benefit. So please don't assume that life is just la, la, la when you work with the angels. Life is filled with love and joy, but it still has challenge because the challenge is important for your growth. But here's what I need you to know. Please don't go in with a predetermined angel that you want to work with unless you are absolutely certain that this is the right angel for you to be working with. Now, I've been doing this work for a very long time, and I enter into my meditative state where I can commune with them most easily, and I ask them to choose who is best to resolve this issue, to help me understand this situation, to give me the answer that I am seeking. I do not say, Archangel Raphael, it's time for you to help me, unless I am abundantly clear that Archangel Raphael has stepped forward and is asking me to connect with him. So all that I ask and advise is that you don't go in with a predetermined idea of who you're going to work with. So keeping that in mind, 5 angels have come forward to help all of us deal with this issue of either everyone being home trying to live their lives at the same time with great overlap and a lot of opportunity for frustration, or being all alone in your home and feeling isolated or cut off from others whom you would normally see within your workday or in your social interactions. But before we get to them, and I'm going to share with you all of their characteristics and what they can do to help you, we got to go over a few other things that they shared with me as well. So we need to understand what's actually going on energetically. And you'll notice that I always say we have to look at the energetics of the situation, because all we are capable of seeing in our physical bodies, in this physical world, is an illusionary product created by our mind. Our thoughts have created this reality that we can choose to participate in, or we can change the channel. But right now, we are participating in this viral outbreak, and you can participate any way that you want to. You can participate with a feeling of fear. I'm really scared that I'm going to get this virus. Or you can participate with a feeling of service. What can I do to spread love, to spread the feeling of well-being, to spread the feeling of optimism to others who are going through this situation with me? But we are looking at that as sort of 2 sides of the same spectrum. So those of you who are steeped in fear may have come to that fearful place because you're suddenly all at home together trying to live your lives and do the things that you would normally do separately right on top of each other. And it can be difficult and confusing, and often chaos causes fear. So that can be one of the reasons that you're feeling afraid. Or you could have a compromised immune system. And just having been in the space of unwellness could make you feel nervous or worried that you may come in contact with this virus. The other thing that can be causing you to be in the fear spectrum is being alone and perhaps having too much time without interaction and allowing your mind to run off down the road with thought streams that are not serving you. So we need to look at the fact that these two exaggerated conditions will bring out the best. Actually, I named three. So we got to look at the fact that all of these possibilities, because we also have the other side, the love side, where we're feeling really great about where we are energetically. And so the only desire is to share love and to share calming and confidence. So we got to look. Let's take the fear side, which is caused by all of these unusual circumstances, versus the love side, the confident side, which you would get to if you are able to take a step into the energetic and away from this illusionary reality that you're experiencing. So let's just compare those two. So these are two really exaggerated conditions. This is not something that we normally see on a daily basis. And exaggeration tends to bring out either the best or the worst in ourselves and each other. Now, you could certainly say, oh no, I have been really a model of patience and kindness and joy during this time. And if you truly have, wow, you're amazing. I congratulate you. But most of us are going to flip between joy and cranky. It's just the reality. So rather than put yourself up on this pedestal of, oh no, I'm always so wonderful to be around, a little honesty is lovely. Acknowledge that, hey, this is a little bit of a challenge, and I might not always be react with the most loving attitude that I possibly could. So with that little more honest look, we need to remember two things. You can say, well, the only reason that I'm short-tempered is because ... and then you either point the finger at someone else, or you blame the virus, or you start looking outside yourself. But blame never solves a problem. And it's not the circumstance, it's your reaction to the situation. The virus is neutral. It's doing what it is supposed to be doing energetically. Your reaction to what is happening is under your control and is your choice. So, that can sound like I just handed you a loaded gun and said, go ahead and pull the trigger. You may feel that you have no choice over this situation because the virus has made you feel that your life is out of control. But remember, that's an illusion that you are choosing to participate in. That is you pretending that you are not a strong, brilliant, powerful, energetic being. And it's time for that to stop. It is time for all awakened beings to step into their truth and into their power, and out of the place where we are making excuses when we are acting in a way that is not honoring all that we are. So let's look at both of these issues from both sides of the spectrum, but we're going to do it with the help of a dream team. Because when you approach a problem and you have the help and the assistance of the angels, it is so much easier to find the answer that is going to be supportive of you, that is going to lift you up and honor all that you are. If you try to just do it with the information that you have or the beingness, your humanness that is you, you're not honoring all that you are, and you're making it so much more difficult. So we have a dream team, which is a group of energetic helpers that will help support you during this time, or truly any challenge. But the thing that they're reminding me of at this moment is to say, don't get locked in to this group of 5 beings. Instead, allow yourself to stay open and just say to them, whoever it is that is most capable of helping me resolve this issue or see what I need to see or learn what I need to learn during this time, please come forward and help me now. Your only job is to receive the help. Now, that might sound really silly, but I want you to take a look at your life. When the angels come calling, you may not be able to keep doing the same destructive behavior that you've been engaging in up until this point. You will be asked to take responsibility. And sometimes we're not ready. And that's okay. But that if you're not ready, you're not taking responsibility. And if you are not, then the angels are incapable of helping you, not because they don't want to, but because you have to give them permission before they can jump in. So here are all of the angels on your dream team. First, I'm going to tell you who they are, and then we're going to dive deep and look at each one of their attributes individually so you'll have an easier time of working with them. It's important when you begin working with the angels that you understand a little bit about them so that you'll know what to expect. It's beautiful if you can just go in with an open heart and open mind, but I find that most people get lost in the amount of thoughts that are generated. And so if I give you more of a direction, you'll have an easier time connecting than if I just let you kind of throw some spaghetti and see which strand sticks. So here are the 5 that want to help you move through any relationship issues that you may be dealing with, whether it's too many people in your home or no one in your home during this time. Archangel Michael, and he is called the protector. Archangel Raphael, the healer. Archangel Uriel, the lion of God. Archangel Jo Feeel, helping you to see the beauty. Saint Francis, seeing God in all. So let's find out a little bit more about each one of these energetic presences and find ways in which you will be able to easily communicate with them whenever you desire. So beginning with Archangel Michael, he generally comes in as blue. You may see flashes of blue around you. You may see some people see it as though it's on a television screen right in front of them. For me, it's a very vague impression, but I know by the feel of their energy and often by the color that I sense who they are. Archangel Michael, who comes with the phrase, "He who is like God." So when you call on Archangel Michael, you get the expansiveness of God. You get the love of God. You get the protection of God. You get the acceptance without judgment. In his right hand, he holds the sword of truth. And this sword's purpose is to help you cut through negativity, to sever the truth from the lies. So if you are dealing with somebody who is not always good about sharing the truth, Archangel Michael could help you see when that person is telling the truth and when they are just spinning a lie because they're uncomfortable with the truth for whatever reason in that particular situation. He will also help you see when you yourself are telling yourself a lie about the circumstance, situation, the person you're looking at. So let's say that I am looking at this viral outbreak and I've got Archangel Michael with me, and I start saying something like, I'm really scared. I don't know when I'm going to be exposed to this virus. I have to be so careful. I'm so scared. What am I going to do? Well, Archangel Michael would step forward and cut that in two and let me see the rotten core of that statement. He would help me to see that for me, that's taking a step into the darkness because I don't have any fear related to this virus. I don't have a compromised immune system, and I have done my work to spend my time in that high vibration. So for me, I am respectful of the stay-at-home order, but I am not fearful of the virus. So this would be an opportunity for Archangel Michael to come in and expose that lie that I was telling myself. It would also be if I were to look out on my reality and say, oh my gosh, everybody's going to get sick. Everybody in my city is sick. The hospitals are overflowing. Archangel Michael, again, would come in and cut through that statement, that illusion that I had created. This is not the reality that we are living in my city, and I would have just been creating drama to create drama. But my thoughts are so powerful that if I chose to think any of those things without Archangel Michael's help and without any kind of correction, if I just allowed those thoughts to continue unimpeded, I would build a big, dramatic nonsense around this issue, and then I would bring to me, through the power of law of attraction, something to be afraid of, so that I would have satisfied the law of attraction. Because law of attraction can only bring to us those thoughts that are like those thoughts that we are thinking. It doesn't analyze it for you and say, gosh, you're really stepping into fear. That's just going to bring you more to be afraid of. Do you really want to do that? It just says, oh, Marcia is really concentrating on everything that's wrong and why she's afraid. I guess she wants more wrong to contemplate and more things to be afraid of. It is not a consciousness that can make a judgment. That's you. That's your job. So when Archangel Michael is with you, you may get some correction or see some truth about yourself. He's going to encourage you to love yourself, not to jump into judgment, not starting that self-talk. Oh, you're so stupid, Marcia. What were you thinking? Being afraid. That is not appropriate, not helpful, and is not going to be sanctioned by Archangel Michael. Now, because we're talking about relationships, whether we're dealing with too many people or too few, it's still a relationship issue. Archangel Michael is a very powerful helper in helping you deal or improve your relationships. But again, you must remember that if your only desire by calling on Archangel Michael or entering the energetic realm is to find ways to blame another person for what's happening in your life, you're going to find yourself deeply disappointed. They will not support your false belief system. They will allow you to hold on to it because it's your choice. But they're not going to support it. They're not going to show you things that give evidence to your fear. They will be who they are, loving beings of truth. So, Archangel Michael, the perfect manifestation of God's mercy, of the love that God holds for you. And one other thing about his sword, it represents the courage that he's going to share with you. Because oftentimes it takes courage to look at that mental attitude that you've been giving a lot of time to and recognize that it's not helping you. So Michael is God's messenger of love, hope, peace, joy, wisdom, and grace. And that's the way in which he helps you move from that toxic thinking place into a more positive thinking place. And thereby, he will help you remove the problems. When you are steeped in the problem, you cannot generate the energy to overcome it. You must rise above it. Get into that beautiful place of love, joy, and peace, and start looking for solutions from your high place. So, one other job that Archangel Michael has is to help us overcome hopelessness. When you are feeling really sunk in that hopeless place, Archangel Michael is a wonderful helper in helping you to manifest your deepest dreams. Now, we have a whole bunch more angels to talk about, but I'm going to take a break here and get our caller so that we can have the angels help directly. So calling from 347, remember this is a public space, so if you don't want to use your given name, please, I just need a name to call you. So calling from 347.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
You are very welcome. And what issue do you need the angels to help you with today?
Oh, my God. And I think they have already helped me. I'm just kind of like calling to see if it's cleared out.
Okay. This will be interesting. And what would you like me to call you?
Sunshine.
Okay.
So I don't know what I was doing today, but anyway, I was, sometimes when I think of, I think of having luxury clothes or having a lot of money, right? This feeling of, because I think I'm an empath, so this feeling of like guilt comes up, or like that my family is going to be jealous of me if I have it, or they won't like me if I have it. So I guess it's a fear, probably from like childhood or something. And I did some kind of like EFT tapping to kind of release some of that. And I'm wondering if I got, like, what do you, I don't know if the main core thing is that I feel like I need their validation. I need them to accept me, or I'm afraid of them being jealous of me, or I'm afraid of them not liking me. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to have shame and guilt or resentment or feel their jealousy. Like, I just want to feel happy. I want to kind of like put my feelings, what I feel first. Like, I don't care what they feel. It's about what I feel and what I want. So I would like to release that if I didn't already.
Okay. And certainly, any people, whether they are blood relatives or just friendships, who give you the impression that you should not have something that makes you feel good because they don't, you probably want to take a step back and look at that and say, am I putting these thoughts, this illusion on these people, or am I feeling this from a truthful place? If you're feeling it from a truthful place, if you feel that it would really undo them for you to be feeling good and to be surrounded by materialistic things that make you feel good, you may need to take a step back from those people, because any success that you have, any way in which you are contributing to the health of the world, and we all contribute with our gifts, and everyone has a gift. Some of us just choose not to use it. But any way that you are contributing to the world, they will feel threatened by. And so sometimes we have to make a choice. Do I want the familial relationship more than I want to share my gifts with the world?
Yeah, I think what it wasn't, it's not that for like the people who I'm thinking about. So say like I have an aunt, she was always jealous of me. It had nothing to do with it was an incident before when but it has nothing to do with, it really honestly has nothing to do with what I have. It's she's just always been jealous of me, like because of her own reasons. And but as I like, these are things I formed as a kid, like these, I guess, assumptions, or I took on those jealousy feelings because she was around me when I was a kid. But I'm not. She's alive now, but we're not friends now, so I'm not even around her. But and like say I have the same thing kind of with my mother, but we're not. I don't have a relationship with her. So these are kind of like childhood things that kind of I picked up in childhood that still are with me. Yeah.
Yep. So Archangel Michael will be a wonderful helper because he has that incredible sword of truth. And he can say, okay, sunshine, time to let go of these illusions from childhood. These people are no longer actively in your life, but yet you are keeping up a running banter in your mind that is preventing you from stepping into your abundance based on something that happened in your childhood that isn't even active anymore. So we have to take responsibility for the fact that, hey, if I am allowing a childhood wound to dictate my life today, and none of the people that helped create that wound are in my energetic field, then I need angelic support and help to recognize what my part is in keeping this dialogue or this drama going. And usually we do that when we're ready to step out into service in a big way. And let me kind of explain what that means. So, as I said, we all have a gift. No one has come here without something important to share. So let's say your gift is speaking. I'm just making things up. But let's say your gift is speaking, and it means that you're going to have to out yourself. You're going to have to get in front of people and say, I am this brilliant being of light. I am a powerful manifester, and I want to share with you how you too can become this powerful being of light that I am, or how you also can be a powerful manifester. Now, before you're able to do that, you've got to own it for yourself. And when we are in the transitional space between hiding in the closet, not feeling like we've got anything to share, and getting out in front and saying, I'm proud to stand here. I'm wounded, but I have stepped past the wounding, and now I can show you how you can step past the wounding. When we're starting to stick our foot out of the closet and starting to feel around, how would it feel if I were to tell the truth about myself? How would it feel if I were to share with other people that I am a magnificent being and I see their magnificence? It's a huge mental shift. And when you are ready to take that leap out of the closet, you get a lot of pushback. You get a lot of, but when I was a child, I was told I was stupid. I'm really stupid. You know you're not. You know better.
Right.
You're in touch with the angels. They are sharing with you on a daily basis. You are a brilliant light. Please shine, sunshine. Other people need you. But you're just in the wobble stage. You've got to be consistent during this time and push through. This is when you've got to get serious about looking in the heart and saying, what am I believing that no longer serves me, that I have to jettison? Remember, it's your choice. But in this case, it is a choice between whether you are going to be in the epicenter of this change that is happening or whether you're going to stay in your closet. And only you know what you want to do.
So if I'm ready to change and I'm ready to release that feeling or those beliefs, so just ask the angels, guardian angel Michael, to help me release this and be free of it. And never, I don't want to ever think of it again, honestly.
Well, the energetic presence that works with me, this is my area of expertise. So the energetic presence that works with me when I do this work with people is Jesus. It's the energy of the Christ. The energy of the Christ is so pure and so incredibly loving. I don't feel you can work in the heart without that energy. There's so many landmines in our childhoods that I don't want you blown to bits trying to step out of the closet. Bring the energy of the Christ. Archangel Michael also is an active participant in this work, but let Jesus lead the way. He brings such an energy of love that you will be fearless in looking at those things that used to cause you to curl up in a ball. You're not a roly-poly anymore. You are a beautiful butterfly. But you're just crawling out of the cocoon. The wings haven't dried yet. Don't fly into a hurricane. You don't yet have the strength. Release these beliefs that you've been holding on to with the energetic presence of love, with the truth of Archangel Michael. And then another being that is part of this dream team is Archangel Jo Feeel. She is the beauty of God. She comes on a yellow light. And she brings with her the energy of joy, inspiration, helps you see the beauty in all things, and that is including yourself. Allow them to do the work of unveiling you. You're really, the only work that you need to do is the work of acceptance, because they're going to show you, if you allow them, they're going to show you who you really are. It's okay. You can choose not to accept it. You can choose to run back in the closet and close the door, and they will not chastise you. You will receive the consequence of that choice, which means, you're in the closet by yourself. Mm-hmm. But they will show you the beauty that you are. Archangel Jo Feeel also has a fiery sword, and it helps cut through the illusion that you're not enough, that you're not ready, that you're not a known celebrity, so why would anybody listen to you? All of this nonsense that you've been using, and recognize why we use it. We use it as insulation to give us the time to prepare, so that when we do finally throw off the mummy wrappings, we have had time to develop the strength, the alignment, the rock solid foundation. Because not everybody is going to look at you and say, "Oh, good for you, sunshine." Some people are going to say, "Yeah? Really? You beep, 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 beep." You need some time in their loving presence before you step out onto that life stage, so that when there are some tomatoes thrown at you along with garlands of flowers, you don't automatically assume that you're doing something wrong. You recognize, oh, a few people aren't ready to hear my message, and that's okay. Let them be. Someone else. Please don't go running after them to rescue them. Recognize there's always someone else coming. It's not your job. Rescue the ones that come to you for help. No, whoops, sorry. They're changing my words. Help the ones that come to you for help. No rescuing.
Yeah.
Leave the ones that are begging to be rescued where they are. No one who wants to be rescued can be helped, because helping, when you help someone, it means that it's a joint partnership. When you rescue someone, you're doing all the work. So you are not the EMT for the world. And
right.
It's a really easy trap to fall into, but all you will do is spin your wheels and spin your wheels and spin your wheels, and you will not change their perception of reality, and you will have wasted your energy that could have been spent helping 10 other people who were ready. So you want to call on Archangel Michael, on the energy of the Christ. If you call him Jesus, great. If not, names are not important. It's, just to help us identify. And then Archangel Jo Feeel. The Jo Feeel teachings are that love and light exist within the core of every person. You cannot find a person that has no love and light. You can find people who are refusing to address it or to show it or to share it. And then those are the ones that you need to walk away from. But it is within each one of us. So I guarantee you it's there no matter how the person presents themselves. But if they're not willing to meet you halfway, then they're not ready. It's not the right time. And so I will also want you to know with Archangel Jo Feeel is that she'll help you think beautiful thoughts, which is oftentimes difficult for you because you start seeing yourself as an amazing being, and then you want to start supplying those critical thoughts. So Archangel Jo Feeel will help you lift your thoughts higher to see the beauty that surrounds you, to remind you to create more beauty. And she'll even help give you inspiration, ideas, and energy to help create more things that are beautiful around you. Because certainly when your surroundings are beautiful, it's easier to hold those beautiful thoughts longer. If, we're sitting in a cardboard box, and while we're seeing all day long as cardboard, you really have to be on top of it not to see cardboard, to see beautiful flowers. So she helps. And also reminds us to slow down so that we don't miss out on smelling the roses, to see the beautiful things that you have already created in your life. And that is something that I don't see you doing often enough. You're on to the next great idea, and you're very prolific in your creating, but you have forgotten to celebrate yourself for all that you have already created.
Yeah.
You're not ever, I don't ever see you say to yourself, wow, you're amazing, sunshine. Well done. Get in the habit. Look what I've done. Look what I've created. Look what I have been responsible to bring forth into the world. A little credit, a little self-credit, a little self-congratulations will go a long way.
I think definitely haven't been doing that, and I think it's probably because I've just been working towards a goal for like a couple of things, especially one thing for a really long time, and it just hasn't worked out. A lot of things I tried didn't work out, but it probably didn't work. A lot of the other things probably didn't work out because of my belief system. So
yes, and I want you to turn that off right now and say, along the way, what have I learned, discovered, and created as a result of choosing that path? It's never all bad or all good. So I want you to look at make a list even. What are all of the things that I have learned? If you knew how many detours I've been on, you would wonder how I got anywhere. You got to look at everything you have learned as a result of the choice that you made. Okay, so I chose to jump off a cliff last year. Well, I learned, A, probably wasn't a great decision, and B, it hurts to have broken bones. But I also learned while I was recovering during that time that I can really open myself to the angels, or that I can create beautiful pictures, because now I have to sit here and draw since I have I'm in a body cast. There's always something.
Right. Yeah, I
that you are not.
I learned tons of things. I learned to value myself and to definitely live in balance. Cause I definitely learned,
girl.
You gotta have fun. Gotta have
yes.
fun. No matter what else you're doing, you gotta make time for creativity and fun, and you gotta support yourself. And you can't deny yourself happiness. So I did learn a lot. And I learned a lot. I guess I should look at that. I've just been looking at, I want this and I want that, and it hasn't happened yet. And I haven't really given myself the credit for what I learned.
Okay, we're at the Angel Bar, and I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off from poor me. You are only now able to see all that you have accomplished because perhaps this goal that you're aspiring to is not the right one. So it keeps getting further and further away because it's not really where you're supposed to be anyway. So make a list of all that you have right now, all of those accomplishments, and see if that goal is still what you want or not. If not, ask the angels, show me the direction I should be going in. And if it is, say, angels, please support me in getting here by helping me clean up my attitude about my accomplishments this far. Got to look at what you have and let go of what's missing. The only thing you can attract is what you're focused on.
Right. Yeah. I guess I sometimes, because of a couple of, not just this one goal, a lot of my goals, I didn't meet them. So it's like because I didn't meet the goals, say if I wanted to be a real estate agent and I wasn't successful at selling a lot of houses, so it's like, oh, well, I wasn't successful to value myself and value my time and value my knowledge. So I got to look at, that's just not the only accomplishment would have been selling the house. It's lessons I learned along the way as well.
Exactly. All of these things that you call failures, I call incredible successes, because you have no idea how many times I've failed. but here's what I know today that I didn't know then. Everything that I have learned, I use in my job, my vocation. Absolutely every single thing has proven to be valuable, even though it was a failure in terms of accomplishment, if you want to call it so, in terms of goals. The skill that I acquired is serving me in this work, which is the work that I have come to do. So let go of I didn't sell enough houses and grab onto what have I learned from that experience, what skill have I gained, and where am I being led, angels? Where do you want me? We have to stop asking where do I want to be and ask them where they want you to be. Especially if things are not working out, it is for a reason. If you have cleared out the heart and you have stopped all of that yammering, and I did it well. I mean, I was the best poor me girl. I had the biggest pity party going forever. Why won't you let me help me, angels? If you've cleared all of that out and you're still stuck in neutral, it is because you are going after the wrong goal. They have a place where they need you to be, where you will shine, and you're not getting the hint. So they're deliberately holding you stuck to motivate you to look at where you need to be. If you're not reaching your goal because pity is your main form of communication, you got to release the pity first, because you really can't you can't see clearly. So I'm going to let you go, and because I want to finish the other angels before we run out of time.
Thank you so much. This is very insightful.
You are so welcome, Sunshine, because the other angels are going to be helpful to you as well. So I'm just going to put you on hold so that everybody can hear about these other angels before we run out of time. So I shared a little bit about Archangel Jo Feeel, but let's look at Archangel Raphael next. He is someone that I want everyone to learn to engage with, because Raphael, who is the healer, and his name means God heals. Raphael, who is the healer, is not limited to the physical body. So again, Sunshine, he is a wonderful helper for you to call on, because he helps with mental and emotional health as well as the spiritual body. So when you're having conversations where you are looking at yourself or calling yourself a failure, which is a disservice of the highest order, Archangel Raphael can help heal that and help you see who you really are. But remember, we must receive the healing and accept it. Absolutely every single person on the planet is given healing energy by the angels. But if you don't accept it, they will not force their way. He also carries a sword and cuts through illusion. It's the illusion that you are sick or poor or not good enough or perhaps broken. He will also help you heal relationships. He helps facilitate breakthroughs. Oh gosh, I didn't realize you were this incredible person because I saw you as weak or poor or stupid. And now that I see you as who you really are, I recognize that we could have a lovely relationship. And this includes your relationship with yourself. And he will also point out those limiting beliefs that are holding you stuck in a less than perfect place so that you can release them. So far we have had Archangel Michael, who cuts through the negativity. Archangel Jo Feeel, who helps you see the beauty and inspires and uplifts you. Archangel Raphael, who helps you to heal in every way possible. Now let's look at Archangel Uriel. She is the Lion of God. Also is known to work with Archangel Raphael. She tends to be, and she's pink. I forgot to tell you that Raphael, by the way, is green. She comes in pink light, and she does a lot of work with animals. She's connected to the earth and the animals. And I hear a lot from people who say, I'm really worried that my pet may become sick. First of all, I have a doctor, a neighbor who is a doctor. He said, pets cannot transmit this. They can carry it on their fur, but it will not affect them. So if you pet your animal and you feel that the animal has spent a great deal of time outside and you are in a heavily infected area, you should wash your hands after you pet your animal. So the pets are not at risk in any way. You can immediately let go of that worry, but Archangel Uriel is the healer for the earth and all of the animals. But here's a wonderful, wonderful thing about her. She helps with procuring supplies and making sure that you have enough. However, now remember when we work with the angels, they are balanced. So she's not going to support you in hoarding. If your garage is filled with toilet paper, that is hoarding. If you have enough toilet paper for a couple of weeks, that's being prepared. So let's be in balance. You do not need a whole garage filled with toilet paper in order to get through the next little bit of time. So she's not going to support you and is not going to work with you if you want to put out hoarding energy. You may notice that Archangel Uriel will come with the wind or the water. So if you're having difficulty connecting, try going near water or when it's windy, and you may feel like you're more connected to her. She helps with all manner of abundance. So if you're just feeling, I don't have abundant health today, she's a good one to call on to help you see the illusion of that statement. She oversees, again, healthy relationships. This time, though, she works especially in the family. So it's important if you have family issues going on at this time, she'll help you find strength and provide restorative energy so that you will all want to work together as opposed to sort of drawing apart. She's our angel of connection, and she reminds us that we are in a relationship with all things. Now, the beautiful thing about animals, and one of the reasons that she oversees the animals, is unless they are in an extreme state of stress, and even then they may not, they never leave their God connection. So if you have an animal in your home, look at its peacefulness and imitate it. They're so good at just being. And you know what's lovely about animals is that there's a give and take. as you pet the animal. If it's a cat, it might purr. If it's a dog, it will show it how happy it is to have you in its life. The tail might wag or some other sign. And your blood pressure goes down, and your breathing regulates, and you get calmer. Everything provided by God is provided with love and in balance. So now I'm going to take one last caller. We still have to talk about St. Francis, because I want you to have as many helpers on your team as possible. But this is a caller from 605. Hi there.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm great. What would you like me to call you today?
You can call me Joe.
Okay. And what question do you have for the angels?
Well, not for the angels. I just saw your show, and it was talking about too much togetherness or isolated. And so I'm thinking that you're talking about the coronavirus and what the repercussions are of people who usually don't spend too much time together on a daily basis. So I called in to find out, what's going on, what your perceptions are, and for me to give you my perceptions.
Okay. When you ask my perceptions, what are you referring to?
Well, I presume this is a relationship show. Am I wrong?
No, I'm just, which perceptions about what? About our relationship
about how
to
the relationship, yeah.
To each
the
other?
relationships people have with each other, yeah, when they're isolated like this. This is a relatively new phenomenon that people are experiencing.
Absolutely.
24/7 togetherness.
Absolutely. And there is difficulty on both sides. Either they're all jammed up together and uncomfortable because they are not getting the opportunity to leave the room and blow off steam, or they are incredibly isolated. But either way, it is a call for you to go within and make friends with the self, the being that you are, the luminescent being of love. Get away from the critical self. Get away from the cruel conversations that you may be having about not being good enough or being better than everyone else. We all have gifts, and we all shine in a certain area. Nobody is perfect in every area, but this time should be spent in looking at all that you can bring when you let go of all of the ego nonsense, and then how can you bring that unconditional love to your family? How can you show greater patience, greater kindness, greater compassion, and greater understanding? So that's truly, from my perspective and from working with the angels, this is a time of great awakening to who we really are and how we should be responding to each other.
Yeah, that sounds good, makes sense. What kind of advice would you give, let's say, a woman who is not really laid off but furloughed, but is home all day with her husband and is picking fights with him? Probably not even about the real issues, but perhaps because of underlying issues that have been bothering her, maybe that she doesn't even know of, for years. What would you say to her?
This is the most extraordinary time for all of us to stop. We're no longer able to be busy. We don't have our busyness to get between us and what we need to address. So we have an extraordinary opportunity to go into the heart and say, what are the things that I don't like about myself that I am trying to pass off as somebody else's problem? So I'll give you an example. Let's say that I don't like the fact that I don't like to arrive on time. And so I'm chronically late. I'm 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes late to everywhere that I want to go. And I can say, wow, gosh, you're just lazy. But when you really dig into the heart, you see that there's a deep insecurity there. And what is really playing out is I don't feel worthy of arriving on time and being honored for arriving on time. I feel that I need to be disciplined. I need to be chastised. I need to be hurt or guilty. So I'm going to be chronically late so that I keep receiving the thing that I believe I deserve. This is when you go within, you get into the heart with the unconditionally loving presence of the Christ that I call Jesus, but you can call anything you want. You take that unconditional love and you shine that light onto that darkness, and you help, with the help of Archangel Michael, release that false belief. You see yourself, hey, I have made myself into a victim. Got to take responsibility. I've made myself into a victim because I believed I was unworthy, and I'm using being late for things as punishment. I'm going to let go of that. I'm going to release being unworthy. I'm going to allow the angels to lead me into the truth of my being. I'm going to take responsibility for getting to this place, and I'm going to accept the healing that's being offered now so that I don't have to blame Joe or Steve or Mark or Bob. Instead, I can feel so good about myself that I can bring a loving presence and encourage them to join me in my high place instead of trying to tear them down so they'll have to join me in my low place. This is a time when we are being asked to be responsible like we have never been before.
Well, that sounds like good advice, but it also sounds like it takes very, very deep introspection. And I'm willing to bet that out of 100, let's just say women for now, out of 100 women who are going to be isolated with their husbands, I would bet that not even 90%, well, it'd be good if it were 90%, not even 10% of the women would be able to do that and come up with that kind of conclusion about, let's say, the example which you had given, being late. So, as a result, if I'm right, I don't know, what percentage of people, men or women, do you think can be that introspective?
You know what, Joe? I'm so delighted that 10% will actually take this time and do something meaningful with it. It lights my heart on fire because you know what? Even if one person out of 10 is able to do the work necessary, that's one more person that is shining brightly. And there's a very good possibility that their light will shine so brightly that 3 others will start inquiring, gosh, what are you doing? You seem so peaceful. You seem so amazing. Don't worry about how many. Be the one that is the change, that is the brightness, that is the love. Shine your full wattage. And just let those that you come in contact with be curious and start doing their own investigation. Share what you know. Share your love freely. But don't worry about the ones that aren't making it. Be delighted about the ones that have chosen to move forward. We only change the world by looking at the world with love, and not with disdain and not with criticism. It's that loving acceptance that makes people courageous enough to do the work, to let go of the illusion that it's somebody else's fault, take responsibility for their life, and then move into a space of beautiful victory from that place of responsibility.
Well, that works for those who might be able to do it. I was being very generous when I said 10%. But
hallelujah.
It's good
I
for
am
those.
so excited. I'm not going to let you go there, Joe. You are not going to get me to feel upset that the percentage may not be overwhelming. It might not be today. You know what? It might be tomorrow. I'm in a beautiful space of joy. I got there from the deepest, darkest hell that you can ever imagine. I know it's possible, and I'm just going to keep shining my light, and those that are ready will join me, and together we will make a difference. And those that are not ready, someone else will come along to help them. I've got to be in this place of joy.
Well, you stay there. It's a good place.
It's
but the thing is
fabulous place, and I'm inviting you. Yes. Please join me. It's a beautiful place, and it is a place of unlimited possibilities. So please join me. You have a beautiful heart, and I'm sorry that it's been hurt, but I can tell you, you can heal it.
First off, you don't know anything about my heart. And secondly, it's good for people, again, who are within that 10% bracket, who are enjoying their particular place of peace and quiet. But it's the other 90%, which people have to, if they want to be generous with their particular gifts or information or tools, have to work with. If we're going to have counselors, doctors, engineers who only succeed 10% of the time, then we're raising a country full of failures.
I will take.
Understood?
I used to teach children who believed that they were failures. They were successes by the end of the year. I cannot join you in your place of negativity. I have to stay in my high place where I see what's possible instead of the low place where I used to be.
And the other 90%, just let them be. If they don't come along,
shine your light. Shine and shine and shine, because the other 90% are waiting for someone to show them how to get there. Be the leader.
They're not waiting if a person's going to have the attitude that the other 90% are disposable and can be thrown away, as a matter of speaking.
So don't throw them away.
Again, it's good.
Encourage them. Don't throw them away. Encourage them to join you.
Yeah, that can be done. But again,
it absolutely
let's say, for example,
be
done. Suppose there are relationship counselors who have clients, and they can only help 10% of their clients. But instead of trying to help the other 90%, they're satisfied with the way that things are now instead of looking for improvement. Then they'll never improve. That's not how progress is done. Progress is done by taking a look at what isn't being done now, what's wrong now, and correcting it. Not saying, well, this works for a certain type of patient, this works for a certain type of mathematics under a certain circumstance, but let's just stay with it. Let's stay with the wheel, and let's forget about what the wheel can produce in terms of flight, motor cars, etc. So I'm a person who believes in progress.
And I understand, and I support that. I also believe in progress. I just approach it from a different direction. I say, look at all that you are capable of doing. And I recognize that by encouraging you and supporting you and uplifting you and inspiring you, you will naturally want to do more. If I told you you're a failure, look at all that you've done that hasn't worked, you would probably not be inspired to do anything. I've worked with those children. I transformed their lives. The work I do now is transforming people's lives. I've transformed my own life, and I didn't do it by staying in that place where I felt like I was a failure. When I believed myself to be a failure, I continued to be one. And so did the people that were around me. When I started recognizing that I had a choice and that I was responsible, I changed my life and the life of everyone I encountered, and I am continuing to do it. Leaders
that's
lead.
not the thrust. Yeah, that's not the thrust of my particular point. My point is that it's good for certain people to be positive-minded, to look optimistically towards the future so that they themselves can acquire new goals, reach for the stars, and get there. My particular point is that if a person is only satisfied in doing that, especially speaking from a place of love, which is supposed to be spread out towards all people, then they're limiting their particular, well, I wouldn't call it gift, but their own particular way of perhaps helping other people.
Yes, but no one has said limit. The only limit is if the person on the receiving end is saying, don't bother me, and you say, okay, I will move on to the person who is ready, knowing that God will send someone when you, person that's not ready now, are ready. If we waste all of our time on those who are wanting to be where they are, and we neglect the ones that are ready to move, we haven't done anything. So I advise that you work with the people who are ready. You send your net of love out into the world for everyone, knowing that you're planting a seed. And when it's time for that seed to grow, either you or someone else will have circled back to them. No one is neglected.
I'm not talking about sharing the personality, sharing the essence inside with just everyone and anyone. I am talking about if we have, in this particular circumstance, I picked out the number of 100 because it's easy to multiply and divide with, 100 families in which they are all together and they're all getting on each other's nerves. And if 10% take that particular advice of yours to look within, I'm saying it's such a deep exploration that very, very few people are going to be able to do it. And what would you recommend to the other 90 who need some sort of help to help them during their days, during this particular type of, I wouldn't call it a crisis yet, but in these circumstances where everybody's isolated, the other 90, because if you're a relationship counselor, and I don't know if you are or not, if you're somebody who likes to spread love, then what would you do in order to try to make those other 90 become more receptive to your philosophy?
Begin with yourself. Start practicing self-love, because when you love yourself, you will be more tolerant automatically of other people. Now, we are way over time, and I have loved having this discussion with you, but it's going to shut off in a second or two. So, Jo, thank you for bringing your really great insight and for being a part of the show today and for sharing your love.
Take it easy.
As always.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, everyone, so delighted for all of these wonderful calls and interactions. We did not really have a chance to look into St. Francis of Assisi. In this 2 minutes that we have left, I'm going to go over his characteristics very quickly, just so you have as much information at your disposal as possible. So he is purple, and he brings gentleness and compassion. So our caller, Jo, was talking about, what can you do? St. Francis of Assisi is a wonderful assist. He helps us see God in all things, but first within yourself. Everything begins and ends with you. You are the important person in every situation, not because you're better than someone else, but because the only one that you will have with you every day, guaranteed, is yourself. So love must be given to the self before it can be shared. And St. Francis will help you see your value and worth and help you move out of that space of self-criticism so that you can be more loving and kind to other people. He will also help you to feel safe, remind you that you are loved by God and that you as you are enough. And Francis will help us find peace in our hearts and gentle acceptance of other people and whatever the circumstance is that you may be going through. He helps to remind us to be in this moment and appreciate all that has been provided. Francis is also known as the multiplier, and he will help you increase your food, increase your abundance in every area. And a little side tidbit on St. Francis is he also has been known to influence the weather. So in case you need a sunny day at the beach, I wouldn't recommend it right now, but in case you need a sunny day at the beach, you might want to call on St. Francis's assistance. So everyone, before it cuts me off, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. You make a difference in the world. You bring wonderful love and exceeding compassion and kindness, and I am grateful to be on this planet with all of you. Please shine your brightest. Please share your love with all, but first with yourself. Now, if you've been with me and you feel that you want to go even deeper, please join my Patreon community. On my website, Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, Marcia spelled Marcia or mmhearthealer.com, you will see a tab for the community. Right now, it costs less than $8 a month, and I am sharing techniques and ways in which you can join with the angels or learn from the angels or be guided by the angels. So it's Marcia Martin, thehearthealer.com or mmhearthealer on the community. The only thing that's available right now is the $7.77, and it will give you access to the angels. All right, everyone, thank you so much. If you called and I wasn't able to get to you, there's only so much time, but I have loved speaking with each and every one of you. So until next week, I'm sending you all my love.